Are you two okay?
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Is Volron... Have we finally seen the last of him?
We can but hope.
Those red women. What the heck was their
highly doubt
deal?
it. Okay, so this is not the end
Could
of the
they
game.
be the ones behind all this? The same ones who put those soldiers and Faria in a trance?
What? Those brainless things? Either way, they've done a runner with the Renaissance. Damn it, that's the second time now!
Whatever's stolen from us, we'll steal it back.
Which means
The
go to
future's
Rena.
ours to protect. And right now, those things are what's standing in our way. We can head them off at Rena.
Did you say Rena?
Volron mentioned a master of theirs holed up in the motherland somewhere.
If that monstrous form's their true identity, I shudder to think who they take orders from.
Yeah. There's a good chance it's not human. That's for sure.
So this thing over on Rena, that's what's really behind all this, huh?
They have the Renaissance in their grasp already, so it's unlikely they'll have cause to return to Dana. I agree that Rena's our best shot.
Then we're agreed. Let's head back to the starship.
But seriously, I was not expecting Volron to actually be here.
He seemed to care not one whit about Renans or Danans.
Yeah, not in a good way like with us.
Indeed. Oh, I could get revitalization. Oh, okay, that's 80 CP though. How much does your normal first aid cost? 12 CP, and that does a lot of HP for us, which is great. So yeah, I don't really want to get that just yet. Maybe once we reach level 50, I'll attempt to get it, but once I get it, I probably won't use it very much until I really have a lot of CP. Most important item to get is the damn CP regen. Anyways, who was it? You two? Yeah, you got it. Oh, well, we haven't really fought any more dragons lately, but hey, I'll take it anyways. Beep. We'll go that. This is the red one.
I didn't see that coming about Volron. As for those red women, to think they were monsters all along.
Tell me about it. One minute they look perfectly human. Next thing you know, they're not actually human at all.
They definitely weren't Renan or Danan. I'm not even sure language would get through to them.
So what were they then? Human Zoogle hybrids?
Is the most terrifying thing anyone said all day.
How about you, Shion? Doherly? You ever seen anything like that before?
No, never. However, if they're the same as the Red Woman we've seen with Volron, I think it's safe for us to assume they understand our language at the very least.
I had just so much I wanted to ask them. About Rena and Shion's thorns.
Unfortunately, they blew themselves up before we got the chance. Why would they do such a thing, though? To take us with them? Or in order to keep something hidden?
Both
Probably
sound
the latter.
plausible to my ears. They took off with the Renaissance too, remember?
Yeah, they did. And the next time we meet them, we're going to make sure they tell us everything they know.
Oh, come on. Do I really have to walk all the way back down? Fine. Fine. I guess that just means that we have, or are we making a run for, oh. Is Lennigus falling apart? Is that why we can't make it to the waypoint? I mean, that would definitely make sense. Or somewhat of sense. Let's do this.
Gotta break through. I see one, eh? You're mine. Fire in the hole! Flame inside me. Yours to be let free. Punch that gun out of your hand. For my lord! Demon Fang. Too fast. Stand back. I'll trip it out.
God, these guys hurt.
Take this! Out of the way! Here we come! Armor won't save you! Like steel! How about no escape! Release! What's this?
You made me angry. That was a bad idea.
I'll bring you down.
Damn. I didn't get there soon enough.
Healing art.
Not today!
I'll take you all on.
Interrupt my art, will you? My boost, will you?
Flare the Molotov.
That's my cue.
Shut him down!
Need to pull myself together. Glacial spear. Here's evil.
Can't get out of this! We're not getting! Hurricane Flood! I'm not done! You're finished! Armor won't save you! Meteor! What's your form?
Appreciate
Try harder! Not a chance!
This one's mine.
Crush! Double the flame inside me! Yours to be let free! Talon Hurricane!
Do it!
Don't leave! Hey! Blow them away!
Boom. Okay.
That'll teach us for getting cocky.
Okay. Yeah, we'll work on the ingenious discharge, and then we'll work on everything here. Oh, oh god, then there's this. Oh god. Oh. Never mind, we're gonna work on this, because everything here is... Ah! Kill.
It'll be a breeze. Get in, get out.
Spirit! Not today! Take this!
I'm the true gunslinger around here.
Bring him down!
Come on, he's... Okay, and...
Yields arts too.
We'll soon see about that.
There we go, got it. That's who I want. Okay, this is who I want.
Glacial spear. Here's evil. That'll bring you down.
Fire support!
Now you see what I can do.
Switch to the healing art.
Watch this! Dragon Swarm! What? Not today!
There! Make it rain!
Release!
Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
No, you can't! Dragon Shout! Ready to flash! I'll tear you apart! No escape! Dragon Swarm! It's over! I'm not done!
Here's a healing
Try harder! My damn it! Mine! I'm not done!
Go!
Push it, Alpha! Try harder! My turn!
Spear! Pierce the
Take this! Dragon Swarm! Dragon Swarm!
I'll take you all on!
Ah, you interrupted my break.
Flare the Malika!
Will this
Here I come! Try harder! My turn!
Do it!
I'm not done!
Leon!
Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Will this do it?
Nice.
Am I on a roller?
Yeah, you are on a roll, girl. Okay, so
What?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Well, let's do it.
Get lost!
Take this!
Glacier
Here I
Spear!
come!
Meteor!
Double Demon Fang! Not this one's all mine!
I think I'll pass on the hand.
You're mine!
Glacier Spear!
away!
Going in! Evil!
You're finished! This one keeps charging us! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here's a healing
I'm on it! Here I come! There you Dragon Swarm!
Thank you.
Ha!
Down you go.
Dragon Swarm!
That's fairly tiny.
Here I come! Watch
Oh
me.
wait. Okay, so I have a second art. I have two mystic arts. I have Scarlet Outburst and Blazing Pillar. Hold on. In texture and over limit, hold 2 of the following buttons with a 5+ combo performed using separate arts. Oh, I see. That makes sense.
Far enough!
First strike! Take this!
Healing circle!
Blow away! Solid Storm! Rising Falcon!
Run away!
Hear my call! Crescent
Dragon Swarm!
Glacier Spear! Pierce evil!
Try this!
Eat this! Maximum burn!
Explosive Rain!
Blow away!
Dragon Swarm!
Lunar Arc! I'll take you all on!
Should have looked at that a long time ago.
Flare the Malika!
But I didn't. I just looked at it. I mean, I did look at it, but I didn't read it.
Hurricane! Glimmer Dragon! Double Demon Fang! Take this! Death Force! Healing Circle! Dragon Swarm! You're mine!
Guardian Heal!
Dragon Swarm! Hurricane!
And once it gets up, I can down it again. Basically instantly.
You're mine! I'm not done! Talon Hurricane! Dragon Swarm!
Okay, yeah, you don't
Now
have
I'm
to.
real mad.
Ready? Try harder! You're mine! Storm! Pierce!
Require a hand.
Dragon!
I'll crush you!
Yeah, we're good.
Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
I'll heal
You're
you!
mine! Double Demon Fang! Sword Alpha! You're finished!
I'll tear you apart!
Dragon Swarm!
No, I won't give in. I could do this all day.
Here I come! Talon Hurricane!
That was lucky. Okay, we're almost there to
I'll crush you!
again.
Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous
Okay,
claw!
I'll take it.
You're mine! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
There's always room for improvement.
I'll do my best!
The flame inside me yearns to be let free.
Eat this!
Dragon Claw!
Dragon Tail!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Flaming Meteor!
Dragon Swarm!
Watch it!
Ready,
Dragon Shout!
Here I come! Dragon Swarm!
Super Swallow Dance!
Here I come! Blue Escape!
Rhythmic Tear!
Rising Falcon!
I can carve through. I'm on a roll now!
Here I come!
Lightning!
First strike!
Talon Hurricane!
Take this!
One more! Radiant!
Dragon Swarm!
About six!
Double Demon Fang! Burn it
Make it
down!
rain! Watch this!
Frozen?
Hammer!
Glacial Spear.
Here I come!
Flaming Meteor! Here I come! Rhythmic Tear!
Okay, so I'm gonna guess like with the
And the pummel to me!
You're mine! Dragon Swarm!
Talon Hurricane!
Next! Sword Rain Alpha!
These fists have got your name on them!
man, he's been getting that a lot.
That'll bring you down!
Do it! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Everybody okay?
We're all right, Alphen.
Ah, some people are almost level 46. Yay! Was everyone gone?
What the? When did it get pitch dark all of a sudden?
The lights are all out. Think it has something to do with the explosion back in the Forbidden Zone?
Doe?
You two.
Faria, Avakir. Thank goodness you're safe.
Avakir filled me in about everything. About how I ambushed you all.
She doesn't remember a thing, so she really was being controlled.
He told me about Tarnigan, too. Is it true?
What difference does it make? What's done is done.
Stop casting me off, just for once!
Faria, not now. It can wait. Dohalim, Lenegus is in grave peril.
So I can see.
It's the city's core reactor. It's damaged. Some of the basic systems we've managed to keep online, but complete restoration's still a way off.
You're an elite technician, though. You can fix it, right?
If so, then what's the problem?
Panic's begun to set in among the citizens. Until now, whenever something like this happened, the Sovereign would issue a decree. But this time, not so much as a peep. Any longer, and we run the risk of riots breaking out before we can get things back up and running.
Forget the Sovereign. I doubt you'll be hearing from him anytime soon.
What's that supposed to mean? Do you know something I don't?
Suffice it to say, the Sovereign isn't the kind of ruler we thought he was. That is, if he ever even existed, which is looking doubtful at this stage.
Are you out of your mind? Why, if people knew that a lord such as yourself was whispering such blasphemy, they'd...
There's no time to explain now. It sounds like we need to find a way to keep Lenegus from spiraling out of control.
We need to stop that riot.
But how do we do that?
Riots feed on discontent and unrest, right? So if we want to keep the peace, we just need to put people's minds at ease.
At ease? Like by letting them hear directly from someone they trust. That's it. Who's the highest-ranking person in Lenegus right now?
That would be Dohalim.
Lenegus wouldn't have a next in line. After all, you said the Sovereign rules over everyone directly, right?
Correct. The closest thing to an authority figure would be a lord. And the only one left is... Ah. Very well then. Avakir, you mentioned a few facilities were still online. Which ones?
Why hasn't the Sovereign said anything?
Please, won't somebody explain what's going on?
Is it over? What's going to happen to all of us?
Heed me now, fellow Renans of Lenegus. It is I, Lord Dohalim Ilkaris of Eldaman and Sia.
Look, up there! It's Lord Dohalim!
Hold on! He should be in the crown contest! Shouldn't he? Why isn't the Sovereign talking to us?
The Sovereign is seeing to other matters right now. In my capacity as Lord, I speak to you in his stead. You're afraid.
I mean, it's not lying. It wasn't a lie.
As people so often are when faced with the unknown. I hope you'll allow me to put your fears to rest. The city's core reactor has experienced a malfunction. However, we have our top engineers attending to the matter, and things will soon be back to normal. I know that you feel abandoned, perhaps more scared and alone than ever before. But I ask you all to keep one thing in mind. You are Lenegus, not the Lords and Sovereign. The solidarity of its citizens is the mortar that holds it together. If we don't allow ourselves to be distracted by our differences, if we put our hearts and minds together and stand as one, I am confident we will find new hope. I would be honored to stand with you. Not as a person of loftier rank, but as another human being among many. I hope that you'll lend me your strength, for if we can persevere as one, I know a bright tomorrow awaits.
Oh, hey, perfect timing.
Your speech seems to have done the trick. Looks like the city won't be descending into chaos after all.
I only pray the relief will tide the city over for the time being.
What you said earlier, about the Sovereign possibly not even existing, was it true?
It's still too premature to say with any certainty, but I believe so. This whole time, this world we've been fed was a lie, built on nothing but falsehoods.
But it can't all have been...
I can believe it. After everything I saw in the Forbidden Zone, what they did to Faria, it's the only explanation that makes sense.
But what about hierarchy, Avakir? Authority? The very foundations of Renan society? How can we live without someone to guide us?
I'd say we found someone capable of doing just that, wouldn't you?
Dohalim?
You? You can't be serious.
I have business I must take care of first. But once everything is over, I shall return. But not as your sovereign, nor as a leader the likes of which the people here are used to, I think.
But how else do you propose to rule?
I'm not sure yet. All I have is a feeling that here in Lenegus, a new dawn is on the verge of breaking. One in which people won't be judged by birthright or on the power of their astral arts, but on other things. More important things. Things like, oh, I don't know, musical talent, for example.
When I bumped into you after all those years, I said you were no different. But I was wrong. Truth is, you were always different. I feel like maybe now I can finally begin to accept Tarnigan's death. To see a future.
You go finish whatever it is you've got to do. I'll hold down the fort here in Lenegus till you get back.
Thank you.
I guess you're not going to make it to Menancia for the foreseeable future, huh?
Indeed. Forgive me.
The people of Eldamenancia can look after themselves just fine. It's the ones here on Lenegus who need someone to guide them. Besides, with you leading the people here, it'll help spread the idea of coexistence beyond Menancia's borders that much faster.
Sounds like you're in it for the long haul.
How could I not be, after the second chance that I've been granted? From this day forth, I shall dedicate myself to the future inhabitants of this world. Though the memories of the departed shall remain forever in my heart.
Remember, you're going to be leading the people here, not ruling them.
True enough. Whatever would I do without you, Kisara?
With or without her, I suspect you're gonna have your hands full when the time comes. We should be heading back to the ship. Business on Rena awaits.
Dohalim, Renan leader. Thank you. Improved healing arts. Nice. I'll focus on you.
Looks like the people of Lenegis can rest easy.
I couldn't have done it without your words of encouragement, Law.
Hey, you're the one who made the speech.
I think everybody can share the credit here.
Yeah, team effort, go! Anyways, one's own master. Hopefully we can turn
when all is said and done, perhaps I have been a slave this whole time too.
You, a Renan lord? How do you figure that exactly?
I was complicit in the Renan system, bound by its values, resigned to being swept along, without the resolve to take a stand. And when I realized the severity of my mistake, all I longed for was punishment, a lord. And yet my first instinct was to place my fate in the hands of others.
I think I can relate. I couldn't stand watching my people bow and scrape their way through life, but I didn't know what else I could do about it either. The ability to think for yourself and be your own master, that's what separates a slave from a free person. At least, that's what Law's dad Zephyr used to say. Zephyr taught me how to fight. But in doing so, he also taught me how to live.
Even if it means stumbling along the way. If it's on a road of our own choosing, free of regret. Why, that's the road of freedom. Or, to put it another way, so long as his heart is compromised, even the loftiest of kings is no freer than a slave. I think I finally understand now. This Zephyr character sounds like he was a wise man indeed. I only wish I could have met him.
There's just so much I wish I could ask him, especially now. I wonder, have I been correctly carrying on the torch that he passed to me?
Anyways, wiping the slate. Doesn't have an H, so it's not whipping.
How long have you known?
Known what?
About the darkness I carry inside me. You seem to have been aware of it for quite some time now.
Why ask me now? What does it matter? But yes, I have. I've pretty much known that something was gnawing at you ever since we left Menancia.
So basically since the very start of our journey then. Just when I thought I couldn't feel more ashamed.
Leave the past where it belongs. We have no need for it now. You're forging ahead. That's what matters. If my brother could see you, he'd be proud.
Not as proud as he would be of his sister, I'm sure.
Well then, just as well it's not a competition, huh?
Oh, how many of these? Leaving the nest. I gotta go!
Kisara?
Okay,
Anyone
no,
at
seriously, I
home
do
in there?
need to get going. I want to finish with these so we can
Sorry.
carry on.
Did I look distracted?
Among other things. To be entirely honest, I couldn't tell whether you were smiling or frowning.
You were thinking about Dohalim, weren't you?
That obvious, huh? I was just thinking how good it is to see him moving forward at last. It was always so infuriating, knowing how capable he could be if he just put his mind to it. A prisoner trapped in a cage of his own self-doubt. But now, he's finally beginning to spread his wings. I'm happy for him.
So, then why do you look so sad?
Oh, I don't know if I'd say sad. There's a bittersweetness to it, I guess. It's good and strange, knowing that he won't be needing me anymore. It probably sounds weird, doesn't it? I have this massive worry off my mind. I should be jumping up and down for joy, right?
Must be that maternal instinct of yours at work.
Rinwell's right. You're like a mother bird, finally letting go as her child takes his first shaking and nervous flight from the nest.
A pretty big child.
That's one way to look at it. I wouldn't like to see Dohalim's face if he heard you say that. All this has made me realize I can't allow myself to become a prisoner of my own making like he was. If Dohalim can forge his own path ahead, then I can too. I won't be left behind.
That it? Okay, that's it. All right, we did it, chat. Okay, at least got through that boss and all that dialogue. Anyways, okay, I will actually say that this was a good... I will actually say that this was a really good mixture of gameplay and dialogue. A lot better than a certain other game that we're currently playing. Yeah, that game is a little awkward in dialogue. Not gonna lie on that one. A little bit awkward, but that, ladies and gentlemen, will be all for